Your neighbors hear the echoes you never hear. A hidden camera captures the panic you never see. Because the most heartbreaking part of your dog's day can start the moment you walk out the door. And you are not there to watch it happen. When you come home, your dog may look totally fine, tail wagging, toy in their mouth, like it was a normal day. But that does not mean they were calm. Some dogs do not explode, they shut down, they go quiet. And quiet can look like peace, even when it is panic. In this video, I will break it down in phases. What happens in the first minutes? What happens after it gets quiet? And what happens before you even grab your keys? I will also share practical steps that actually help. Now comment one word for me. Type alone if your dog barks or cries when you pick up your keys. Remember this. A quiet house does not always mean a calm dog. Stay with me, because the quiet part is where most owners get fooled. Now let us start with phase 1. Most of us imagine that when we walk away, our dogs simply wander over to their bed, spin around a few times, and drift off to sleep. But hidden cameras tell a much darker story. The second that door clicks shut, reality sets in for your dog. They are cut off from you, and panic takes over. You will typically see 3 very distinct behaviors in these first few minutes. First comes the noise. They might bark, frantically cry, or let out a heartbreaking whine. Then comes the escape attempt. They scratch at the door or paw at the windows, desperate to find a way back to you. Finally, you will see the pacing. They walk back and forth endlessly, unable to settle down. It is a loop of pure anxiety. Bark, scratch, pace. They are burning through massive amounts of adrenaline. And then it goes quiet. And that is the trap. You might check your pet camera from work and see your dog lying on the floor. You breathe a sigh of relief, thinking they have finally calmed down. But veterinary behaviorists call this state learned helplessness. Your dog has not suddenly found peace. Their body has just run out of the physical energy required to panic out loud. They realize that crying will not bring you back. So the stress simply moves inward. This silent panic is devastating. If you look closely at the camera, you will see heavy panting even in a cool room. You might notice puddles of drool. They might be lying down, but their eyes are wide open and locked onto the front door. Or they get up, circle around, and drop back down every few minutes. A quiet dog is not always a relaxed dog. Sometimes quiet just means they have completely shut down emotionally. Silence is not the same as safety. Real quick before we move on. How long is your dog usually left alone during the day? Drop a comment below with the number of hours. The stress often starts before you touch the doorknob. Dogs are absolute masters at predicting human behavior. They do not just react to you walking out. They react to the entire sequence of events that leads up to it. Think about your morning routine. You put on your shoes, you grab your keys, you pick up your bag and check your phone. Your dog connects all these tiny dots into a clear picture. They know exactly how this story ends. Because of this, their stress hormones start flooding their system long before you actually leave. You will see them following you from room to room. Their breathing gets shallow. They might lick their lips or yawn, which are subtle, but proven signs of canine anxiety. Here is a small trick you can try tomorrow. Break that routine. Put your work shoes on, but then sit on the couch and watch television. Pick up your keys, but go cook breakfast. Teach your dog that these objects do not always predict abandonment. Now listen closely, because most of the advice you read online gets this next part completely wrong. You finally come home after a long, exhausting day. You open the door and find your couch cushions completely destroyed. It is completely natural to feel angry. You might yell or drag them over to show them the mess, but your return can make the next departure worse. Science shows us that dogs live entirely in the present moment. Your dog cannot connect your current anger to the pillow they tore apart 3 hours ago. They only connect your anger to the exact moment you walked through the front door. Always, this creates a tragic cycle of fear. They spend the whole day terrified because you left. And then they spend the end of the day terrified because you came back angry. You are not teaching them to stop chewing the furniture. You are teaching them to fear your arrival. So how do we actually help them feel safe? First, we have to ignore 3 popular myths. Myth 1 is that getting a second dog will cure their anxiety. Research suggests this almost never works. Your dog is not lonely for a random canine friend. They are terrified because they lost access to you. Adding a second dog often just leaves you with 2 anxious dogs. Myth 2 is that leaving the television on will trick them into thinking you are home. Dogs are incredibly smart. They know the difference between a glowing screen and they're human. Myth 3 is that a puzzle toy will distract them. Toys are amazing for bored dogs, but a dog in a state of true panic cannot eat or play. What research suggests actually works comes down to 3 things. Graduated absences, where you leave for just moments at a time. Completely calm exits and returns. And a highly predictable routine. This is not obedience training. It is prediction training. Here is a 3-step plan you can start putting into practice today. Step 1. Make your departures painfully boring. No emotional goodbyes. No long hugs or apologies. Just quietly walk out the door like it is the most normal thing in the world. Step 2. Make your return just as calm. When you walk inside, ignore the jumping and the whining. Do not make eye contact or touch them until they show you a calm body for at least 30 seconds. You want to reward the peace, not the panic. Step 3. Practice leaving in tiny, repetitive moments. Step outside your door for 5 seconds and come right back. Then try 10 seconds. Then try 1 minute. You are reprogramming their brain. You are teaching them a very simple promise. I leave, but I always come back. When you strip away the mess and the frustration, one truth stays. Your dog is not misbehaving when you are gone. They are struggling to handle the absence of their favorite person. Once you understand what is happening, everything changes. You stop reacting with anger. You start responding with empathy. Rebuilding confidence takes time. But the moment your dog learns they are safe, even in silence, is the moment you get your best friend back. Here is my challenge for this week. Pick just one of the 3 steps from today and practice it daily. Now comment the word alone and tell me your dog breed or how many hours they stay home each day. You are not the only one dealing with this. And if you are not sure whether your dog has true separation anxiety or they are just bored, subscribe. Because that is exactly what we are covering in the next video. I will see you there.